Okay, so many of you might remember this story from my first channel. My first channel. It was my story time of my first ever haunted hayride when I was in college. The funny thing is, there was about maybe 10 or 12 of us that went, right? And out of that group, this girl actually found me on Instagram, and we were actually reminiscing about the hayride. And when I tell you, I was in tears because there's so much I forgot. And there's so much that, like, I personally didn't witness because I was dealing with my own shit during the hayride. There was probably things that I forgot to mention. I don't know. So the whole point is, it made me decide to tell this hayride story again. And this video will be up close. Well, up close and cupped with gum chewing. The last video, the McCamey Manor, I asked people what they wanted me, like how they wanted the video, and it wasn't until after the fact, after I recorded the video, I noticed that a lot of people mentioned close up, cupped, and gum chewing. So since I already recorded that video, I decided to do this video close up, cupped, and gum chewing. So let's begin. So I went to Albany University, and I would say it was probably maybe 2 weeks until Halloween, and there was this other college named Newbolt, and for some reason that college always had, like, the best parties, everything. Like, it was always worth getting in the car and driving that hour to that college to have fun and party and everything else. But this area also was known for this Halloween attraction. So we decided, and they were passing out flyers everywhere. And of course we had friends that were in that school that were in the location of this haunted attraction. So we decided, like 10 or 12 of us, to go. Again, I never been on a hayride. I never even heard of a hayride, let alone a haunted hayride. But see, even from like when I was 5 years old, don't ask me, I don't know, I was always into horror movies, like all the time. Like, I even down to, like, a lot of people were scared of Michael Jackson's Thriller. fascination or a fun. I've always liked Halloween costumes, horror movies, to a certain extent. But so anyway, we get there. Now I'm gonna tell you like this. I will never forget how cold it was that night. It was so cold. See, here's the thing. The further up north you go, the colder it gets. The further up north in New York you go, the colder it gets. So if you're going north from New York City and you're heading towards Albany, Syracuse, Buffalo, baby, the temperature out there, it hits a little different. It feels a little different. It's just different. And if I'm telling y'all I'm getting like 13 inches of snow, Buffalo's getting 24. So it's like, but anyway, again, I will never forget how cold it was that night. Just keep in mind how many times I keep telling you how cold it was, because when I tell you we all came out drenched in sweat, like it was literally impossible. Literally impossible to be sweating out there. It was like, I kid you not, it must have been like probably 28 degrees. I don't know, it was cold as fuck. I just know we were like layered up or whatever. And so anyway, we were online for like maybe 40 minutes. And I remember at one point we were all thinking about saying fuck it. But we decided to do the Hayride first because that was the longest line. We figured we would knock that out. So this attraction had the Hayride, the haunted house. It was like more like a fair type of thing. They had rides, food, entertainment and stuff like that. It was really nicely put together, right? So anyway, our truck, our Hayride, whatever you want to call it, arrives. Now it was the best way I can describe it it was a big pickup truck, like, I don't know, think of like a farmer's pickup truck with like a lot of fucking hay. It was big enough for hay, because I remember the hay was like wrapped around the back. The back was open, like we had to actually all climb in together. So I would say it held like maybe 25 people. There was clearly more than one Hayride truck working at the same time, but I kid you not, whoever was timing this shit needs an award, because like I said, there was more than one Hayride going at a time. But you can tell it was like a 20-minute gap type of situation. And so anyway, the truck comes, and actually there's this ladder, not a ladder but like a step stool that we're getting up, and people are helping us in, and everyone takes their seats, okay? And so now they put up the back of the trucks. Now we're all, I remember saying to myself, God, it's cold. But I noticed that since we were all bunched together, like the 25 of us or something, it actually was not that cold. Like, it was cold, but like the warmth of everyone being up against one another really helped out a lot. So we get in the truck, and the truck takes off, and I'm like, okay, this is really cool. Again, I have no idea what I'm up against. I have no idea what I just signed up for. And so as we're going, I'm noticing that civilization is like getting further and further. It like kind of bothered me. It's like if you're on a cruise ship, right, and then like you're gone and you no longer see land, you're like, I said, normal haunted house stuff. I stopped thinking shit was cute. And it's funny because the girl on Instagram, she was telling me, she was like, you remember you were like, oh, that's cute. Not cute, but like, oh, that's how that they did that. That's neat how they did that. But it wasn't until, I kid you not, and oh my god, it wasn't until after all the cuteness went away, right? It got quiet again. And then as we're driving, the truck stops and we stop next to a little car. This is when I freaked the fuck out. This is like when shit was no longer funny. Has anyone seen that movie, Killer Clowns from Outer Space? Listen here. Killer clowns from outer space. There is a scene in that movie when clowns just keep coming out the car. Like, it's the tiniest car, like a Mr. Bean car type of thing. But like all of these clowns, yo, I'm laughing now. First of all, if you do not know, you'll know now. I am terrified of clowns. Like, it has gotten a lot better. You know, like if I see a clown on TV, I prefer not to. But I'll just then turn my head. Okay, whatever. You won't catch me watching the new It or anything like that. I don't know, the new It was a little different. I did watch that movie, The Terrifier or whatever. The point is though, back when this was happening, I was really terrified of clowns. Like, I'm more terrified of clowns if they're in my face. Like, I don't like anyone that has face paint. I can't see your natural features. I don't know if you have a mustache or have a mole. Like, I don't like circuses with clowns. Like, there's something about a full-blown clown being in my face. I don't like it. I don't like clowns. I don't. So anyway, so our hayride or our truck stops by this little car, and they start coming out like the killer clowns from outer space. I'm like, oh fuck. See, that's where, and see, from then on, it was nothing but issues from there. And so, I don't know how many clowns came out of that car, but I was like, now I'm really freaking out. And I felt as if one of the clowns, because people in the truck were trying to calm me down again. Back then, my clown phobia was really, really bad. It's gotten a little bit better, but back then, absolutely not. The people in the hayride was trying to really calm me down because I thought I was gonna have a panic attack. And I felt as if one of the clowns was like, bitch, shut the fuck up. Because one just like, I swear to God, it was like they were getting out the car and one just got aggravated and just was like, I swear the head movement was, and like the clown was looking at me. People say the clown wasn't. That clown was looking at me. He was looking directly at me. He was like, shut the fuck up. He definitely was. I'm telling you, he was. And then like he just got angry, and then he just starts like coming after the truck. So I'm like telling the truck, the hayride guy, drive the truck. And the clown gets like just way too close. And although everyone in the hayride again said that clown that's what it was. But whatever. So then we continue on. We had more, like, that was, we needed a calm downer after that. And so we had like little mini things and like scary stuff, but it wasn't anything that, and then it just got really quiet. And then all of a sudden you start feeling things, and it just happened like in a ripple. It was like one was like this, the next someone else was like this, then it's like, what is that? Like, what is that? And then next thing you know, it's like we're all looking up, and I tell you, it was like 12 dead fucking witches. I don't know where they came from. I don't even know how they were hanging. I'm so confused. And the things we were doing this with, it was like their rags, like little strings from their dress, or like cloth, or their clothing or something, and some were lower than others. But it's funny how like we all started feeling little things little by little, and then we're all like, what the oh my, what the I don't know how they did that one. I don't know how they did that one. And then so this next part, I mean, it's cute now, but so after that, like I said, I was still amazed at the witches and still stuck on that goddamn, those clowns. But then the guy that was driving the hayride, he was like, hey, anybody back there have coffee or have caffeine? I can't fall asleep. And the way the hay driver guy is talking, it's like he's in straight panic. It's like, oh, wait a minute, why is he panicking? And so oh my god. And so he kept repeating it. I can't go to sleep. And I don't know what it was, but then it clicked. Like, okay, see, what we're not about to do is see fucking Freddy Krueger up in here. Like, it was so cute though. Not cute, but thought out on how they did it. So he acted like he needed caffeine, and then the driver was like, I was like, we're out of the woods. Like, we were still in the woods, but like, we weren't in the woods. I don't know how else to explain. Okay, it wasn't as woodsy, right? Because now it's like not as dark anymore. And I'm like, okay, somehow or another, we got another driver. I don't know how that exchange happened, but now the truck is moving. I am now realizing that we still have woods, but see, now to our right, we have a fucking lake. Keep up with me, peoples, keep up. By the way, those witches that were hanging, I wonder if that was like the witch trials. You know, oh, also too, they also had like Pumpkinhead. But see, back then, I didn't know who Pumpkinhead was. But that was like also lurking in like the woods that, during our hayride. But like I said, I really wasn't familiar with Pumpkinhead back then. But now I'm like seeing woods. But now I'm seeing a goddamn lake. Now if anyone understands where I'm going with this, right? Oh my god. Okay, so all of a sudden, right, you see like, and this was kind of stupid, but see, I knew where they were going with this. And there was like you can tell it was like a dummy though, that was in the water. And it was a bald-headed child dummy, right? And it was disformed or whatever, deformed. Now, if anyone remembers Friday the 13th, the story behind Jason is that I don't know if he was always handicapped. I'm not sure if he was handicapped or not, right? I'm not sure. Disabled. I'm not really sure. But for some reason the kids didn't like him, maybe because he was different. I'm not 100% sure, but what I do know is that he was swimming and that either he couldn't swim or caught a cramp or something. Anyway, he started drowning, but none of the counselors were able to save Jason because they're too busy having sex, which is why he usually targets the counselors and not like the actual like campers. And then Jason ends up dying in the lake. And so that's why every summer when people go to what is it, Crystal Lake, what is because after I saw that and so like I said, the little boy was supposed to, okay, right, because then once they had that little act of a kid like drowning in the water, and then we started seeing signs for that shit said welcome to Camp Crystal Lake. Oh shit. And then next thing you know, you start seeing like cabins, like we're actually driving by like a campsite. I'm like, this like he was so scared that he couldn't move or whatever. And then all of a sudden, like, his headlights went out. The fuck you mean your headlights went out? Like, he was acting like he was frozen. And then, like, the car wouldn't start or whatever. And I think at this point, everyone was in a complete panic. It just, the way things were flowing, it just felt too real. And the factor, like how they had the theme music, the costumes, all of it. It was very well thought out, and it just really, really flowed. So, I don't know, all of a sudden then, he's able to get the truck started, and then the lights come on, and of course, guess who's standing right in front of the truck when, the lights come back on, the headlights? Of course, it's Jason, or whatever, and then, the truck is able to, like, back up, and it's supposed to give the effect that, like, we ran over Jason. I mean, we know we didn't, but we supposedly hit Jason and then we left. But then I was like, okay, I was completely exhausted. I was over it. But there were so many kids that were crying, that were telling their parents they wanted to go home. I wanted to go home. I wanted my mommy. I didn't care. I just was completely over the night. But then, as we're driving, I noticed that I'm sitting there thinking, like, okay, we've been through that, we saw that, you know, Pumpkinhead. Oh, they even had, like, Chucky, you know, do certain things. Like, you know, they had, like, all types of characters and stuff. But then, when I thought Jason was it, I was like, wait a minute, there's one killer that we did not even, like, acknowledge. And it's fucking Halloween season. At this point, I'm just like, Mike Myers, Michael, just bring it out. Just come on, like, enough with the anticipation. Just bring your ass. And so, we are driving, and then we stop again, and now we stop next to this little house. It looked more like a small garage, or like a shop. I don't know. Like a tiny house. And it's funny because I remember it was red light, and it was flickering really fast. Flicker, right? And then it just got slower and slower and slower and slower until the light completely stayed on. And now everything is lit up red, right? So now all of a sudden we hear the goddamn Halloween theme music or whatever, and like in the house, like in red, you just see like Mike Myers just going at it. He's like slaughtering people. I remember it was like two windows. Like, first you see like a dead body, and then you see Jason like killing somebody, and then you see him come back into another room to finish off the other person. And then once again, as usual, now Mike Myers happens to stop what he's doing, and he stops, and I remember his whole face and movement, he was like this, and then was just like this. Like, oh, y'all wanna watch? Oh, okay, well, you can't watch. Like, if you wanna watch, you actually have to be part of this show. I'm telling you, whatever actor was playing Mike Myers, that man can move. He was like, 1 minute he was just standing there, next minute, just like the movies, just walking past, like he was moving. And of course, like, our truck driver is not moving. He's acting like, you know, something's wrong. What are we gonna do? And then I'm figuring by now, we all had it figured out, like, the time he gets close enough to the truck is gonna start, and then we're gonna take off. Mike Myers was moving. He was moving. And then, I don't know, I felt as if like there was like a little trampoline. I'm not really sure how the man ended up, like, it was just like he just hopped on and was like, ah. And then next thing you know, it's like he moved fast. He went from like stabbing somebody to coming out running to us to now he's standing right in the middle of the hayride, like in the truck. Like he's like turning around looking at each and every one of us just like, who am I gonna slaughter first? And by now, right, no one is saying a word because we are just so surprised how close they actually, like the actors are like actually, like, and it was so creepy because like everyone has their weapon, you know, but like Jason with the machete, or anyway, so he's just sitting there with that mask. The mask in person looks really creepy. Cause see, here's the thing, and I'm pretty sure I'm not the only one who was thinking it. It's like, what happens if one of these actors had a bad day and really wanted to slaughter us? Or what happens if someone swapped out the fake knife for the real knife? Or what happens if someone swapped out the actor for someone else? Or again, someone just might be having a bad day. There's always that thought in your mind when you're dealing with humans when it comes to like haunted houses or whatever. Like, and see, this is a difference. Like, this is a scary attraction. That McGamey Manor haunted house bullshit, that's torture. This shit was scary. But anyway, as Mike Myers got up on the truck, he's looking around, and as soon as he's about to, like, I guess start swinging, it was like, wait a minute, are you crazy? I think this is the movie that they should have put out instead of Jason versus Freddy or Freddy versus Jason, whatever. I think we should have a movie of Michael Myers and Jason Voorhees. I'm telling you like this because Jason grabbed him like, wait a minute, this is my woods, this is my lake. If anyone is gonna kill these people on this truck, it's gonna be me. And the next thing you know, the truck now automatically starts and we actually pull off really fast, like the fastest the truck has ever gone. And we're literally watching Michael Myers and Jason fight. It was crazy. It was crazy. Like I said, and talking to that girl brought back so many memories, like things I forgot or whatever. But the funniest part about this whole situation was, well, there's three actually. After that, we were done. The whole Hayride took about maybe 35-40 minutes or whatever. But then we were all emotionally completely drained. Like, that shit was draining. I mean, it was worth every penny. But like, nobody wanted to do the haunted house. Nobody wanted to eat. Everybody wanted some heat. But when we got off, everybody was sweating. I mean, we were sweat. I mean, like, you couldn't take our shirt and just drenched it. We were sweat from fear, from like, it was incredible. I would never do it again. And actually, to this day, I can't even find that Hayride location anymore. I'm dying to know if they're still doing it, because I kept saying to myself, with technology and things evolving, they probably have stepped up their game by now with that Hayride. I can't find it though. Maybe someone got hurt or something. I don't know. But yeah, so anyway, everybody was sweating. But the funny thing about it is that one of the guys in the car that was in the car with me, it wasn't until we got to the gas station, because both cars needed gas, because remember, we had 2 cars full of people, and to get back to our campus we needed gas. So it wasn't until station that we noticed that one of the guys that was with us actually peed his pants, and because I don't know, between the sweat and the cold, his pants where he peed was actually frozen, stuck to his thigh. I must have laughed for like 19 hours straight. I kid you not. That shit was funny as hell. But then he wasn't the only one. Another one of the guys actually peed his pants. His wasn't frozen though. I don't know why. But the whole situation was funny. But then it turned serious when we realized that nobody had money for gas. We had 2 cars. No money to get back to Albany. And remember, this was back in the day, you know, you couldn't, like, it wasn't like 2023 when someone can cash app you in 3 minutes or sell you money in 30 seconds. See, we didn't have all that shit. If you were broke, you were broke. You had to wait for your parents to deposit some money into your account, wait for that shit to clear like everybody else. So I remember it was like 10 or 12 of us outside this gas station, and people were getting really mad because literally we had no gas to get home, and everyone was blaming everyone else. It's like, well, why did you need that soda? Why did you get that water? And why weren't you keeping an eye on the gas taking at your car? Well, yeah, it's my car, but why didn't you give up my, like, everyone was blaming everyone else. I think it was just we were mentally exhausted. And then this sweet old couple, I don't know how long they were listening to us like argue or whatever. Hold on. Like I said, I don't know how long they were like listening to us like argue about this thing. Yeah, but you know, I guess between like all of us, you know, either having like the Albany University jacket, sweatshirt, hat, between like the bumper stickers, whatever IDs,